time for, I don't know, maybe 12 more songs or so. This next song is another song that I'm not sure if Veronica or Javier requested it, but it's called So Slow. Yeah, thank you very much. No, actually, I was just wishing I could blow my nose as well, you know, so it's kind of, you know, it's like a... and I apologize if the concert has been so emotional for you, and that was actually kind of tears and... oh, life's just a bitch and then you die. So this next song is called So Slow. I don't know how many of you are aware of my first band. I was in a band called The God Machine. Thank you. That ended rather quickly while we were recording our second album, One Last Laugh in Place of Dying, when our bass player, Jimmy Fernandez, died of a brain hemorrhage. And the thing is that he had been, I hope you don't mind me telling the story, but he had been suffering from headaches for quite a long time, and it progressively got worse and worse and worse, and it got to a point where like his arms started to go numb and things like that. And you know, the doctors, he'd been to about 3 or 4 different doctors, and they were saying, like, Mr. Fernandez, you know, 1 out of every 4 people in the UK get migraines, you know, just take these pills, go sit in a dark room, and you'll be fine. And he knew that there was something more than that, so he actually went to another specialist, and they gave him a CAT scan. They put you in that big machine and, you know, do all that, just put colored shit in your blood and stuff like that, so what's going on in your head. And, you know, he waited for the results and waited for the results, and after about 6 weeks or so, he called up the hospital and they said, Mr. Fernandez, we're sorry, we lost your results. Can you come back in again? I was like, okay, what the fuck, you know, it's like, in the UK, you don't pay for medical care, so you kind of give them a little bit of leeway, right? You know, you think a CAT scan is quite a major thing, but, you know, we'll give him a break. And so we scheduled another appointment, and about a week later, Austin, our drummer, went to pick him up at his house, and he wasn't answering his phone, he wasn't answering the door, and finally when he came down to the door, Austin could hear him kind of bouncing up against the wall, like he couldn't kind of keep his balance. And Austin said, look, we have to take you to the hospital now. It's, you know, this isn't good, you have to go to the hospital. Took him to the hospital, and as soon as Jimmy laid down on the stretcher, he stopped breathing, and his heart stopped beating. And basically, he had a tumor that was about the size of a tennis ball in the back of his skull, and when he laid down, it hemorrhaged. And you know, it's going from being one of the happiest, most beautiful, most positive people that I know, to seeing him in the hospital. That's where the title One Last Laugh in Place of Dying comes from. Is you know, they tell you that when somebody's in a coma, that they think that they can hear you, so you should just talk to them normally. And I remember, as absurd as this sounds, I remember actually kind of trying to tell jokes to Jimmy while he was in the hospital. You know, after they had told us that, you know, look, you might have to donate his organs, he's not going to come out of this, he's gone. I just remember, I don't know, I couldn't handle it really. And this song is called So Slow, and this is basically about the fact that my whole life I've kind of questioned what the point of being in this fucking, you know, what the point of any of it is really. I just think it's all pretty much bullshit actually. And Jimmy, on the other hand, just thought that life was the most wonderful thing that could ever happen. And I'm sorry that he had to go, and somebody like me that just kind of casts clouds wherever I go is still here. So this is dedicated for Mr. Jimmy Fernandez, and it's called So Slow.
Turn off the lights, believe it's television talking. No, tonight I don't wanna be alone. I try to close my eyes, but I'm afraid of the dark I see everywhere. I see you everywhere, But death comes so slow when you're waiting, when you're waiting to be taken. And death comes so slow when it's all you want, and it takes the ones that don't. Death comes so slow, and 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 death comes so slow. I try to close my eyes, but I'm afraid of the dark I see everywhere. I see you everywhere. I try to close my eyes, but I'm afraid of the dark I see you everywhere. I see you everywhere. But death comes so slow when you're waiting, when you're waiting to be taken. And death comes so slow when it's all you want, and it takes the ones that don't. And death comes so slow, 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 and death comes so slow. And death comes so slow.
Thank you.